Maplewood was perfect. The lawns were manicured, the houses were pristine. It was a place where children played freely, a place where neighbors were friends, a place where nothing bad ever happened. Or so they thought. The sun always seemed to shine brighter in Maplewood. The air smelled sweeter. It was a picture of suburban bliss, but something sinister lurked beneath the surface. The first sign was subtle, a missing cat, then a dog. People dismissed it. Animals wandered off. It was no big deal. But a shiver of unease ran down their spines. Something was wrong. The nights grew darker in Maplewood. Strange noises echoed through the empty streets. A low growl here, a rustling in the bushes there. People were afraid to look. Whispers turned into rumors. Stories spread like wildfire. Something was out there, something watching them from the shadows. Fear was a disease. It spread quickly. The rumors centered around the old woods at the edge of town, a place shrouded in darkness, a place where secrets hid. Nobody dared to go in there. Not anymore. The woods had always been there, a constant presence. Now they felt different, menacing, like a predator waiting to strike. The police were skeptical. Missing pets and strange noises weren't crimes. They dismissed the residents' concerns. They told them to stay calm. But fear doesn't listen to reason. Emily, a single mother new to Maplewood, felt it too. The unease, the sense of being watched. She held her son Jacob a little tighter. He was afraid too. Jacob's nightmares started soon after they moved to Maplewood. He would wake up screaming, talking about a monster with glowing eyes. Emily tried to reassure him, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The disappearances continued. First pets, then a jogger went missing. The police couldn't ignore it any longer. They started an investigation, but they were baffled. There were no leads, no witnesses, nothing. Emily watched Jacob closely. He wasn't sleeping well. He was withdrawn. He kept talking about the monster. She tried to be strong for him, but her own fear was growing. One night she heard it, a low growl outside her window. She looked out but saw nothing. It was just the wind. Or was it? The next morning she found something strange in her backyard. Large footprints, unlike anything she had ever seen before. Her blood ran cold. She called the police, but they didn't take her seriously. They said it was probably just a bear, but Emily knew better. This was something else, something far more sinister. Section 5. The Monster Among Us. The news spread like wildfire. The Maplewood Monster was real. The footprints were proof. Fear turned into panic. The idyllic facade of Maplewood crumbled. The community, once so trusting, now suspected everyone and everything. The mailman, the new neighbors, even the friendly old lady across the street. Emily found herself at the center of it all. The footprints in her backyard made her an unwilling witness. Her house became a meeting point for worried neighbors. They exchanged stories, theories, and fears. One thing was clear. They couldn't rely on the police. They had to take matters into their own hands. They had to find the Maplewood Monster before it found them. Fear can be paralyzing, but it can also be a powerful motivator. The residents of Maplewood, once strangers, now found themselves united by a common enemy. They formed search parties. They set traps. They watched each other's backs. They refused to be victims. They would fight back. The woods became a battleground. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Voices called out, hoping for a response, dreading it at the same time. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sent shivers down their spines. Jacob surprised everyone. His initial fear transformed into a steely determination. He wanted to help. He wanted to catch the monster. Emily, torn between protecting her son and facing the unknown, reluctantly agreed. The hunt reached its peak one night. The air was thick with tension. The silence was broken only by the sound of their own breathing. They spread out, covering different parts of the woods, waiting, watching. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. Emily's heart leaped into her throat. Jacob! She ran towards the sound, her heart pounding in her chest. She found him standing in a clearing, his eyes wide with terror. And then she saw it, the Maplewood Monster. It was even more terrifying than she imagined. It lunged at Jacob, but Emily threw herself in front of him. She closed her eyes, bracing for the impact, but it never came. She opened her eyes to see the monster trapped. A net, strung between the trees, held it captive. The sight of the captured monster brought a wave of relief. They had done it. They had caught the Maplewood Monster. The creature thrashed against the net, its eyes glowing menacingly, but it was no match for their combined strength. The police arrived soon after, their skepticism replaced by astonishment. The Maplewood Monster was real, and it was now their problem. They took the creature away, promising to investigate further. Life in Maplewood slowly returned to normal. The missing pets were never found. But the disappearances stopped. The nightmares faded. The laughter of children filled the streets once more. Maplewood was no longer the same. The experience had changed them. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger. They had learned the true meaning of community. The monster may be gone, but the memory of that time lingered. A reminder that even in the safest of places, darkness can lurk. And sometimes, the monsters are real. The scars of Maplewood ran deep, but they were also a testament to their resilience. They were a reminder that even in the face of fear, hope, and courage can prevail. The Maplewood Monster had tested them, but it had also united them, and that, they realized, was a strength they never knew they had.